Remember that we have told you the story of another parallel Earth reality that destroyed their world, and that the humans on that world became mutated into the form you call the Greys. And because they had mutated in such a way, hybridized themselves in such a way to be able to survive on their destroyed version of Earth, they were no longer able to reproduce. And they knew that they would die out if they did not seek out somehow, somewhere, a viable source of still existing human DNA. They used their advanced technology, as we have told you before, to tunnel into various parallel reality versions of Earth, including yours, to find viable human DNA, to infuse with themselves to create hybrid civilizations that would allow their culture to continue and not die out. But the idea of the early Grey, in a sense, because it was something that was created that changed them into a form that could adapt to their dying world, in a sense, is the first hybrid race. The Greys, in the ancient tongue, are the Maz'eh. The Maz'eh are what came into your parallel reality and began the hybridization agenda. So the Maz'eh, the Greys, formed the first hybrid race. The first hybridization level or phase that followed the Maz'eh, or Grey beings, is what we call the Maz'ani. These are what many people in these encounters have recognized as the tall Greys. So they are the next stage of hybridization from the Greys that began to incorporate human DNA and allowed them to begin to change to something a little bit closer to resembling the idea of a hybrid that could continue their species. But it still was not sufficient for a number of reasons. But they were the second hybrid race and, in a sense, phase one of the hybridization agenda. After that came our civilization, the Sassani. So we are the third hybrid race. We are representative of a 50-50 balance between the Greys, the Maz'eh, and the humans on your world and other worlds like yours. We are physically and representationally halfway between the Greys and what you consider yourselves to be as Homo sapien. We are here, as you can see, to share information with you because we are family, we are genetically connected. You are in many ways our ancestors, and we are your descendants, and we will get to that point a little bit more deeply in a moment. The next phase is what was called the Sha-yahyel. This is something that is a little bit more human in appearance, but still containing various aspects of what you consider to be hybrid beings. They still have much larger eyes than you. They are relatively slender like us, but a little bit more toward the human form that you are familiar with. Now, the Sha-yahyel, the fourth hybrid race, act in many ways as guides for the fifth hybrid race, the Ya-yahyel, who are much more human-like, and that's why they are going to be the first hybrid species of the 5 hybrid races that would have open contact with your civilization. They look more or less human. They may still exhibit a few of the ideas of hybrid traits that would make them a little bit different than what you consider a normal or natural human to look like. But nevertheless, the fourth hybrid race, the Sha-yahyel, will act, in a sense, as guides and organizers to help with the agenda of acclimatization for the Ya-yahyel to be able to interact with your world when open contact begins. So they are working very closely together that way. What follows the Ya-yahyel is what has been termed the Sha-l'naya, which in the ancient tongue is the first ones. The first ones being what you typically refer to as the hybrid children that live on the ships that will ultimately be returned to Earth to live among you and begin the process of allowing Earth to blend into and evolve into the sixth hybrid race, eventually. This is what we refer to as the next word in the list, the Enani-Ka. Now, we have initially told you that our ancient word for Earth is Enani, which basically means the ancestors, but more specifically, it was in its ancient form more Nadea, Enani-Ka, which means the place of the ancient mothers. Again, that's a more literal translation, which has now been condensed over time simply into Enani-Ka, which is the ancestor spirits. But in this case, spirit, not only representing the idea by the word Ka of what you consider normal spirit to be, but also the idea of essence. And in this case, a literal reference to DNA. So it is the idea of the ancestor DNA and that which will allow there to be a blending, a harmonization, and a continuing of evolution for Earth to become the sixth hybrid race. Now, we have previously also told you that there would be ultimately a seventh hybrid race that would be a blending of all the other six. This will be a new type of being that will represent a very different way of existing in physical reality, that will exhibit many traits of spirits and other dimensions, will have an interesting expression of power and passion and peace, that will explore and unify many different star systems, many different galaxies in time. So Earth is forming the last foundational component for the seventh hybrid race, which on the list is referred to as Het, or Anu-Het, which means they are the conclusion of the cycle, the grand cycle that was begun by the Anunnaki and ends with the Anu-Het, and brings forth a new species, as we said, of power, passion, and peace. Now, this all goes toward the understanding of the real transformation that's taking place on your planet. This entire cycle is really what the transformation is all about. This upgrade, this uplift, this ascension into new forms, new expressions of great power and passion and peace and benefit and creativity and unconditional love that can ignite a new wave of experience and a new series of civilizations within your star system, other star systems, and the galaxy and other galaxies. This is the beginning of a new cycle with the Anu-Het, a new form of the Anunnaki for a different purpose of expanding creation in a new and unique way, in a much broader way, in a much more expanded way. The real gift is that because we noticed that your planet was heading down the same path as the alternate Earth that destroyed themselves and turned into the Greys, the Maz'eh, the real gift is that in giving you this information, which the other world did not have, the other Earth did not have, with this information, you get to skip all the intervening phases, the Maz'eh, the Maz'ani, the Sassani version of yourselves, the Sha-yahyel, the Ya-yahyel, the Sha-l'naya. You get to go straight from the idea of being human into being Enani-Ka, the uplifted version of yourselves, skipping over literally thousands of years of necessary evolution. That's the gift that we're actually giving to you by sharing this information with you, to highly accelerate your ability to become the sixth hybrid race without going through what that alternate version of Earth went through in creating or needing to create all those different phases to bring themselves back into balance, back into center. You can skip all of that by applying the information we share with you. That is our gift to you.
So can you tell us more about the Mantis beings?
They are the overseers of the hybridization program. Because the Greys, at one point, decided that they had to give up their emotionality and become a hive mentality in order to accomplish the task, because it was so large. They knew they needed someone to guide them. And so, in a sense, the mantis beings were, well, I'll use your word, hired to guide them. So the mantis beings are the overseers of the hybridization program.
I see. So
they had to give up their emotionality to reclaim their emotionality in the hybrids.
And how are they assisting humanity with that project?
Am I assisting you?
Yes.
Then you know.
Perfect. Thank you.
Because my civilization is one of the hybrid civilizations that resulted from the hybridization agenda.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank you.
We are helping to make sure, of course it's your choice, you do not go down the same path that the Greys went down when they were humans on a parallel Earth where they destroyed their reality.
Got it.
Remember that the Greys are mutated humans. They're not aliens. And in deep appreciation, we will now begin this transmission with what we have titled The Formula. Many of you have heard us talk about how important it is, how crucial it is to act on your highest passion, follow your highest excitement. And we have delved into, from many different directions, why this is crucial in life. Because excitement is the vibration, your physical translation of the vibration of your true self, your true frequency. It is also your physical body's translation of communication from the higher mind. That's how it translates. When the higher mind is communicating with you, it translates as that sensation you call excitement, creativity, love, passion, joy. But the idea is that we have perceived that sometimes there can be some misunderstandings, a little bit of lack of clarity about the specifics of following the formula, the three-part formula that we have often delivered. The three-part formula being that you act on your highest passion every moment that you can, to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you can until you can take it no further, with absolutely zero insistence or assumption as to what the outcome ought to be, how you need to get where you're going, or any such specific idea being held on to. This three-part formula, as we have said, will activate the kit of excitement, the complete kit that contains all the tools necessary. But in these three parts, we have discovered that sometimes there perhaps are different interpretations about what those different parts actually represent or refer to. So today, we would like to dig a little deeper, delve a little deeper, and explain, based on what you have before you as your handout, some more specific ideas about what each segment actually refers to. This may not even necessarily be everything, every specific detail, but it will be a good start to help clarify the concept a little bit more. So, Enani-Ka, do you have your handout? Come up and read, if you will be willing to assist. All right. All right. So, under the first part of the formula, to act on your passion, what is the first subheading? Everyone can follow along.
You're talking about number 1, right?
Yes.
Okay. Take action on the opportunity that contains the highest excitement.
Yes, that's the principle itself. What is the first subheading?
The highest excitement doesn't have to come in the form of a project or a career.
Yes, this is very important to understand because very often people will say, well, I don't know what my excitement is. And often they are thinking that it has to come in a specific recognizable form, some kind of a life-spanning career or long-term project, or come with trumpets blowing. No. When we talk about the idea of acting on your excitement, your highest excitement, we mean it can be as simple as every moment of every day you have a number of options available to you that you are able to take some action on. Very basic, very simple. It can be reading a book, having lunch with a friend, talking to someone, taking a walk on the beach. Whatever option contains even just a little bit more excitement than any other option at that level, that's the one to act on first. Because the more excitement it contains than any other is telling you, through the synchronicity tool of excitement, that this is the order in which to act on these options. The one that contains the most excitement, that has the greatest ability to be acted upon, is the first one to act on. And it can be step by step, very simple. When you do that, it may lead to larger and larger and larger representations of excitement coming in different forms that will be more apparent, more obvious to you. But really all we mean is you can take it a step at a time on every level, even the most basic level, and just at every moment moment, act on the one that contains the most excitement, more than any other excitement you have the greatest ability to do something about. That's really all it means, step by step, and it will lead to other representations and other experiences and other opportunities that will allow you to express your excitement in grander ways. And the next subheading
is as long as an option contains even a little more excitement than any other option, act on it first.
That's as we just said. Again, this is easy to do. We will assume, we may be wrong, but we will assume that you're all here today because this is what it excited you to do. But when you leave this transmission, this interaction today, again, you will have a number of options available to you. The only thing you need to do to activate this principle is just look at all the options and just choose to act on the one that contains more excitement than any other, even if it's only just a little bit. That will be your clue and your indication that comes first. Because again, one of the tools, as we will point out again later, is that excitement carries the organizing principle through synchronicity. And it will show you exactly in what order things need to be done, when they need to be done, and thus anything that doesn't fit in that day when you're done doesn't need to be done that day. It truly organizes your life automatically. The next subheading.
Excitement is your body's physical translation of a communication from your higher mind.
People on your planet ask all the time, how can I get a sign from my higher mind? How can I learn to communicate with my higher mind? How can I learn to recognize communication from it? I don't know. It must be difficult. Not at all. The things that excite you the most is actually your translation of that communication. So, when you're willing to act on the thing that contains the highest excitement, that is actually you paying attention to the message from your higher mind that's guiding you from a higher position, a broader point of view, saying, do this now, do this next, do this next. This is the order that works best for you. And when you act on that excitement to the best of your ability, with zero insistence on the outcome, that is actually your response to the higher mind. That's going, I hear you loud and clear, and so I will act on that, knowing that you are guiding me. And when you then respond to the higher mind through that action, because you are physical, so action must be taken to demonstrate your commitment to receive that communication from the higher mind. When you do that, then the higher mind knows you're listening, knows you're paying attention, and it can start giving you more things to act on that contain more excitement. But if you're not paying attention, if you're not acting on the excitement that it presents to you, that it communicates to you, why should it give you more? It would be pointless. So the higher mind will always wait for you to demonstrate that you've heard the higher mind through the translation of excitement, and that you are willing to respond to the higher mind through your actions, and then you start that dialogue going, and you start the ball rolling, and you start the momentum, and it will accelerate and accelerate and expand from there. And next,
check your beliefs to make sure you aren't making anxiety appear to be excitement.
This is crucial, because many people will be afraid to face their fears because of negative belief systems within themselves about what it is they think they will encounter if they go exploring those things. And so many times they will gloss those anxieties, those fear-based beliefs over. They will ignore them. They will deny that they're there. They will not want to explore them, not want to admit that they're there. And so even though they may actually be feeling anxious, they may attempt to avoid looking at it or investigating it by making it appear or labeling it as my excitement. You have to be very clear in discerning within yourself what is truly excitement-based and what may be anxiety or fear-based. This is absolutely crucial, as is its reciprocal,
which is check your beliefs to make sure you aren't making excitement appear to be anxiety through you're able to take action on.
Again, you will come to crossroads in acting on your excitement when it seems the excitement is exhausted, when it seems there is nothing else you can do, you've taken it as far as you can. Then again, when you come to those crossroads, you just repeat the process. You look around for the options that are available to you at that moment on any level, and you simply act on the one that contains more excitement than any other. And you keep repeating that process over and over and over and over and over and over again. And if you always do that, then your life will always be as exciting as it possibly can be at that moment, because you're always choosing the thing that contains more excitement than anything else. And you just keep on doing that. And why? Because you have given yourself no other choice. no reason to choose anything else. That's why. And that's as simple as it needs to be. And
recognize the signs, reflections, and agreements that indicate an inability to take action.
again, this comes back down to the definitions of what ability means. Now, each and every one of you has different abilities. Each and every one of you has a different relationship with the collective. Each and every one of you may have different ways of doing things, and so what works for you may not work for someone else, and vice versa. So you have to really be aware of what your abilities are and what the synchronicity of your reality shows you you are able to actually do and not do. And
physical parameters, laws of society, moral values, and ethical standards can all indicate whether or not you have the ability to take action.
this is the biggest one that needs the most clarification on your planet. Now, some of them are relatively obvious. Physical parameters. If you are literally, physically unable to take action on something for whatever reason, then that means you are unable to take action on it, and that is as good as a crossroads. It's as good as an arrow pointing in another direction saying, this direction that you are unable to act on is not the path of least resistance. So please don't stand there banging your head against a brick wall. Turn left, turn right, go around, do something else. Choose another thing that excites you. The things that may look like obstacles physically are not obstacles. They're road signs guiding you that you need to turn left, you need to turn right, you need to turn around, here and now. And that actually will be the path of least resistance. Please remember that even though the path may seem to be winding and longer than another path you could take, if it is actually the path of least resistance, it will actually be the fastest path. Because even though another path may look shorter, if it's not the path of least resistance, it will take you longer to walk it. So don't be afraid of the winding path. If it's your true path, it will actually allow you to go with the flow much more easily. Now, the idea again of what your society in general has agreed are different kinds of ethical and moral parameters are important for you to pay attention to because you agreed to be part of this society. We understand that many times people on your planet don't necessarily agree or see the same things in the same way, morally or ethically or even legally. But the idea is to understand that if you are part of a society that in general has agreed that these things are in place for the general benefit of that society, then you have to be very, very, very clear about why you might think it's important to go against the grain of that moral imperative, that ethical structure, or those legal standards called laws, because if you go against them just because you can't see any other way, then you're just not being creative or imaginative enough. The idea to understand is that you are part of that society and you agreed to be. If you do not approve of certain laws or ethical standards, then you have every right to change them in whatever way works within your society to do so. But just violating them is not the way to do it. And the idea that the law or ethical standard exists is a sign and an indication that you don't have the ability to go in that direction. You need to see it as clearly as you would see a brick wall, again, simply being an arrow pointing in an unexpected direction that is actually representative of the path of least resistance. Let us add another example to this that we have become aware of, because this particular idea has been bandied about in your society now for quite a while, and specifically we will use the example of what is called copyright law, since this seems to be a hotbed topic in your society. The idea that we have talked about that you call pirating material that doesn't belong to you is a perfect illustration of what we are saying here. There have been some individuals in your society that have come back with what you might loosely call a rebuttal to this concept of obeying the copyright laws by saying, but there have been all sorts of laws in society that we really shouldn't have followed. For example, at one point, slavery was legal. Should we follow those laws? This is really not a correct argument and is really very surface-oriented and actually misses the point. The difference between that scenario and what you are calling the copyright laws is not apples and oranges, it is apples and broccoli. It is two completely different concepts. The idea, first and foremost, and the basic understanding here is that, yes, we understand that there can be what you would call unjust laws in your society, and that there may be people who resist those and go against them and fight to change them in a variety of ways. And sometimes civil disobedience is one of those ways that you have available to you. But the real misunderstanding in that so-called argument, which is not really an argument at all, is the difference between the two ideas. Because what you would call slavery is designed to take people's rights away. Copyright law is designed to protect people's rights. That's the difference. And so such an argument simply means the person hasn't really thought it through. It is just what you would call a knee-jerk reaction to something they want to do, and they're simply creating an excuse in their minds or a reason to break laws that actually benefit your society and are actually just laws. So be very, very clear about the idea when you bring up arguments like that and reasons like that within your own mind as to whether they actually are relevant or not, or whether you're actually missing the point on a very basic level. And the next principle.
Okay, so now we're actually on principle number 3 of the formula, which is act on that excitement with absolutely zero insistence or assumption with respect to a specific outcome.
And the first sub-principle is?
Understand that insistence on a specific outcome, manifestation, or path may actually prevent a better manifestation than you imagined. Fear-based definition.
Yes, many people on your planet will not be willing to act on their excitement because of fear-based definitions of what they think will happen if they do. Something bad will happen, or this will happen, or I'll lose this, or people will laugh at me, or judge me, or I won't belong, and everyone will walk away from me, and many other different kinds of fear-based beliefs if you are actually acting on your excitement. But the idea then is to, again, in the reverse, make sure that you are not dampening down your excitement, the things that could actually be what will give you the best possible life, just because you have a definition that isn't actually a definition of excitement. This is the irony. This is the paradox, as many people say, well, yes, I would love to act on my highest excitement, but if I do, I'm afraid that something bad will happen. That's not a definition of excitement. It's a different definition. You have to understand that in the purest form, excitement, by definition, cannot contain anything that would actually create a negative experience. So if you're making an association of a negative potential experience to the idea of excitement, then the definition you have created is actually not a real definition of excitement. It's a different kind of definition based on that fear-based belief. So be clear within yourself that you are not damping down your excitement by having an erroneous definition of it, by attaching negative definitions to it that don't belong there. Does this make sense to you? I'm sorry? Yes. Thank you. And so, the next principle?
All right, the next, number 2,
yes,
is act on that excitement to the best of your ability.
All right, now, as you can see in this diagram, there is a lot of clarification in this particular section, because there are many different interpretations on your planet from different people about what acting on it to the best of your ability actually means. What is the first subheading?
Well, the first subheading is use all your skills, talents, imagination, and abilities in taking action.
Yes. Basically, this translates to the idea that if you actually are passionate about something, really, truly, you will use everything you've got. You will stop at nothing to allow yourself to express, to act on, to mimic, to mock up, to model, to mirror. Every skill will be brought to the forefront. Every ability that you have will be sought out and utilized and applied in your life to match the frequency of the passion you say that you are passionate about. So allow yourself to go forward full steam ahead when you know you are clearly acting on your excitement. Don't hold back. Otherwise, again, you're not really committing. You're not really demonstrating to the higher mind that it's a full commitment, that you actually believe that this frequency is representative of your passion or this opportunity or this doorway. Use every skill you have as best as you possibly can, and it will accelerate you greatly. And next.
Okay. Act to the fullest degree you are able to act.
Again, this is a reinforcement of understanding that you must go all the way to the degree you are truly able to act on it. Not only bringing all the skills, but taking it as far as you can until you can take it no further. Exhaust every possible avenue. Take it all the way out. Again, if you are truly, truly passionate about something, you will stop at nothing. It will be your driving force. You will look for every nook and cranny, every doorway, every window, every path you possibly can to take it as far as you possibly can until your reality through synchronicity shows you there is simply nothing else that you can possibly do. And next.
If more than one opportunity has equal ability to be acted upon, choose either, and it will show you whether or not to continue down that path.
Again, through synchronicity, the idea is that if it seems to be that there are equal opportunities with equal abilities and equal excitement, it really won't matter which one you choose first. You might as well just flip a coin. Because if it is not the path of least resistance for you, it will be self-contained within the toolkit of excitement, and something will happen synchronistically to demonstrate to you that that wasn't necessarily the choice that serves you best. That ability, that reflectivity is built into, automatically built into every single opportunity that you act on if it is being acted on to the best of your ability from your highest excitement. And using the coin analogy, we are serious about that because sometimes the idea is you don't really know which one might be representative of your highest excitement sometimes until you actually flip the coin. You may think they're equal, but sometimes when you flip a coin and say, all right, if it's heads, I'll take path A. If it's tails, I'll take path B. And you flip it and it comes up tails and you go, oh, path B, oh darn, I really wanted path A. You will reveal to yourself in that coin flip what really contains more excitement. But if after even the flipping of the coin they still seem equal, then again, it doesn't really matter which path you take. For if it is not the path of least resistance, if it is not the path that serves you best at that moment, it will contain what it needs to contain to reflect to you that you need to choose the other path, because this is an automatic guidance system. It is an automatic self-perpetuating, self-guiding system, self-correcting system. It contains everything that you need. So you can utilize it that way as well. And next.
Keep acting on it until you have no more ability to act.
Again, take it as far as you can until you can take it no further. And again, be clear about the idea of what it means to have an ability to act on something. And this is where we get into some of the other definitions in this segment, is there are many different interpretations on your planet in people's minds about what it means to have the ability to act on something. So let's continue with the clarification.
When you can act no further, choose the next most exciting thing you are.
One piece. So sometimes recently I've been very, very afraid.
Very
Afraid.
of.
Afraid of what might happen in the future.
Well, that's the easiest question to ask to reveal what the negative beliefs are that you're holding on to, that you think benefit you somehow. That's exactly the perfect question to ask. If I did in fact allow myself to be who I prefer to be and follow my passion in the way I would prefer to, what am I most afraid might happen?
Yeah.
That will usually reveal the negative belief. And then you have something to work with and ask yourself, well, why do I believe that to be true? Why do I believe that it benefits me to hold on to that? What am I afraid of in terms of the alternative? Why do I have a definition of the alternative that's supposed to be my excitement that I would be defining as something negative?
Yeah.
Because again, that would instantly tell you that you don't have a clear definition of excitement. Because if you actually had a clear definition of your passion, you would understand that by definition, your passion cannot contain a negative experience. And when you say, well, I'm going to act on my passion, but if I do, something negative might happen, that's not a definition of your passion. It's a different definition that you're working with. So you have to be very clear and precise about your definitions.
Yeah, thank you.
And when you hear things come out of your mouth or thoughts go through your head that sound like facts, you have to stop yourself and catch yourself and remember they're not facts. They're just opinions, perspectives, and beliefs, and they can be changed. Yes?
Yes.
Because when people on your planet say, well, everyone knows how difficult that is, no, they don't. It's not a fact. It's a fact that you believe it, but it's not an empirical fact unto itself that things have to be a struggle. That's just an opinion, a perspective, and what you've been taught, it's a belief that you bought into as true. And that's all it is. And those things can always be changed. The only things that can't be changed are what we call the 5 laws, the only 5 facts we have ever found in existence. You exist, everything is here and now, the one is all, the all are one, what you put out is what you get back, and everything changes but the laws. That's it. Everything else is a perspective.
Thank you.
Does that help?
It does.
Thank you.
I have a question about forgiveness.
Forgiveness, yes?
So when I decide I want to forgive someone,
Yes.
one method I reach for is imagining that they're doing the absolute best they can given their past and current circumstances.
Yes, they are.
Sort of
all of you are.
Yeah, like a forgive them, Father, they know what not they do kind of idea.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Yes.
But I notice that sometimes sets up in me a subtle like superiority of them, which is
Well, then you have to examine things within you that you need to forgive within yourself.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes. I was going to ask, the question is, what is there a frame of reference I could use for forgiveness that wouldn't lead me down that path as much? Or is it just the one that you just said to forgive myself?
Well, again, you understand that some people may simply never have been taught the tools they need to express themselves in a more positive way. So you can come from compassion in the same way that you don't really hold a child to blame or responsible for something that they don't understand how to do better. Yes?
Yes.
You teach them how to do it better. Now, it doesn't mean they have to choose it.
Right.
But the idea is that you need to be the shining example that will allow them to know that at least there's an option for how they could be living their life more joyfully by seeing that you're doing it. Because generally speaking, when you see empowered people, you want to know how they're empowered. And you will want to figure out how to do the same thing for yourself. So teaching them the instruction manual, how it works, will at least give them the option. They may still be holding on to beliefs that won't let them abide by it or use it to their advantage. Yeah. But you've done what you can, and what they do with what you've taught them is none of your business.
Right. I can have compassion for their experience and respect their choices.
And absolutely respect their choices, because you don't know what their path actually is.
No.
And you don't know what they really might need to go through in order to have a greater appreciation when they finally do understand how to transform.
Yeah.
All you can do is give them some options and be on your way.
Thank you.
Does that help?
That does.
All right.
And just imparting, what frequency are you reading in me?
Right now?
Yes.
Well, about 156,000 cycles per second.
Thank you very much.
You're
My
very welcome.
unconditional love to you, Bashar.
And you as well.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I have two questions.
Yes.
One is about human death.
Human death?
Death, yes.
Yes.
I'm
What
sorry.
about it?
Seemingly, well, it relates to the negative beliefs. Seemingly human when we die.
Yes.
Human means Earth human. We have a lot of negativity beliefs
About what happens?
about death.
Yes, I know.
And that might be creating a lot of disease or
Absolutely.
pain.
Absolutely. Because as we said, death is just waking up from a dream.
Yes, I understand that. But not many human doesn't. And it might be maybe you can help me to how to support who doesn't understand this concept or the mechanism.
Well, again, you can only give them the information based on your level of understanding, and you have to allow them to understand it or not understand it. But that's all you can do. It's something that can be explained. More and more people on your planet are beginning to investigate the concepts of what happens after you die and are realizing that you do continue, that there are many kinds of things that can be experienced in spirit, that it's really up to you to choose. More and more of that information is finding its way into your society. This is why you are realizing that subjects like so-called near-death experiences are becoming more and more well-known. Because people die, they go to the other side, they say, oh, this isn't so bad, and then they come back and say so. So there's a lot of information that people can find if they're interested in finding it. And you can be a part of that research and give them information and so on and so forth to the best of your ability, but that's just about all you can do.
So after we understand that how exactly transition is,
Yeah.
then we don't have to have a disease or suffering.
No, not really. You
pain
don't have to.
through the death.
No, you don't have to.
So we don't
We
have
don't.
to create.
We don't have it.
Yeah,
Our society has none of it.
that's I imagine.
When it's time to go, we just go. Now, the idea, again, is you can also help people understand this by helping them understand that physical reality isn't real. It's just a dream. So if you start with the understanding of people becoming more lucid in the physical dream and understanding it's just a projection of consciousness, then they'll understand that death is really no big deal. Because in a sense, you're already dead.
Yes.
Because as I said, spirit is your natural state. Therefore, you're just pretending that you're not in spirit. So if you can understand that physical reality isn't real, the experience of it is real, but the solidity of it is not. And even your own physicists are beginning to understand this. It's just a projection. So the more you understand the illusionary aspect of physical reality, the easier it will also be to understand the reality of non-physical reality. You'll start to blend them together. There won't be so much of a difference between the two states. Yes?
Yes.
All right, so that's one way to go about it. What's your second question?
Related to the ending part.
Did you say alien?
No, ending part of your answer. That
Yes.
You said it to blending spirit and
Yes.
and I am experiencing a lot of this right now.
It's part of the symptoms of expansion of consciousness that you start seeing how unreal physical reality is and how real spiritual reality is.
And creating my reality, even the physical condition that from inside of me, inner part of me, that higher. Well, I don't like to say higher or the lower, but
it's all right. We understand what you mean by that.
Yes, the word is sometimes hard to explain.
That's a belief system.
Yes, I know. That's why it's hard.
That's a belief system too.
So I understand the concept of turning off, just to take off the light bulb, today's conversation. I have another belief system before you say I hope that that much easy, just take.
You don't have to hope it. If you understand the concept, you know that it works. Knowing is way beyond hope and faith. You understand how things work.
Yes, and that understanding or knowing is automatically coming through my
Yes, that's part of the process
journey.
of transformation on your planet at this time. So congratulations.
Oh, thank you. But it's just giving, right now I am a little bit, so human term, hard time of those merging two, and one side is the spirit or expanded consciousness, I live the way I live,
Yes.
daily life, and also all the belief system I have in this identity of my human Mikiko.
Yes.
And those are just a belief system I accumulated in.
Well, it's a mask.
Yes.
It's a part that you're playing. Now, you at every level will still feel like your identity, your core identity never goes away. You will always see yourself still as you. But the idea of Mikiko is just a part of the greater you. So when you expand into spirit, Mikiko won't go away, but Mikiko will be a part of what you are as a greater being. It will still be you. Yes?
Like a beach, but also beach contains the grain of sand, and Mikiko is the grain of sand.
Yes.
And it's still there.
Did you just call yourself a beach?
Well, I am beach in that sense, but I still have this, and then a multidimensional different being that you explained to the other questioner.
Yes.
I understand that, and then I can feel I'm having different dimensional experience
All right.
daily basis, but
There's no but.
yeah.
You see, when you say, I'm having this, and then you go, but, you're canceling what you just said. So why not just stay? I am having these wonderful experiences, and I know they will continue. And even if I discover something within myself because of the reflective mirror that is out of alignment with that, I know I will use it to my advantage and continue having wonderful experiences, because discovering something that's out of alignment is part of my wonderful experiences. So there is no but.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. It's very important in these conversations to get you all off your butts.
I want to first thank you. This is my first Bashar event.
All right. Good day to you. Speak up and be bold so that all may hear what you have to say.
Okay. My first question when I first wrote that down was I wanted to get move more towards my passion, or let me say what I felt was my life purpose. You explained that somewhat today, a little bit, where I think I got some of it, but
Yes.
the kit, can you just go over that just a little bit more, this whole kit thing that you were just referring to, the reflective ed, so I can get it clearly?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So the activation formula, as we said, is that you act on your passion to the best you can. In other words, that means whatever contains even just a little bit more excitement, attractiveness, curiosity than any other option at any given moment, you do that one first.
Okay.
With no assumption, no insistence on where you think it's supposed to lead or why it happened that way. That's the activation formula. You do it to the best of your ability till you can do it no further, till either you cannot take it any further or the excitement wanes, and that will be enough at that moment. When you keep doing that every moment with every option that comes along, no matter how simple or grand it may be, if it's always the one that contains more excitement than anything else, do that to the best you can with no insistence on the outcome. That activates all the tools in the kit. The first tool is the driving engine in your life. In other words, it moves you through life because if it is your passion, you are so excited and so energized to do it, nothing else matters, and you just keep doing it. You follow me?
I do.
So it gives you the energy, it gives you the drive to do it because it's the frequency of your true self. You're aligned with it. It gives you the energy. It flows through you. The second tool is synchronicity, which is the organizing principle of your life. It will bring you the information and circumstances and opportunities you need in the order in which you need to act on them by allowing them to contain more excitement than anything else so that you recognize it's the first thing to act on. At the end of the day, when you are excited about being tired and going to sleep, whatever you didn't get done that day, if you were following the organizing principle as best as you could, didn't need to be done that day.
Okay.
Because it completely organizes everything you need to do when you need to do it. It's all about timing, not time. The next tool is it becomes the path of least resistance. It allows you to flow more easily in life, effortlessly in those things. Yes, of course, there will always be challenges. Yes, you might be doing some physical work. But as you say on your own planet, a labor of love is no labor at all. You enjoy what you're doing. It enriches you. It inspires you. It gives you a sense of grounding. It allows you to feel tangible connection to physical reality that you do these things. But it's still the path of least resistance. Many times when people think, oh, well, I just want to go from here to here, the straightest possible path. If that's not your path, if that's not the path that's aligned with you, then a path that winds around like this all over the place, but is actually the path of least resistance, will actually be faster than the shorter one, because the shorter one, if it's not yours, will be full of resistance and slow you down. So it becomes the path of least resistance. You start to trust the synchronicity that it takes you where you need to go. You follow that thread of passion in whatever form it comes, because that is the path of least resistance, because it's the energy that's most harmoniously aligned with you. So there is no resistance. Then it becomes the path that connects you to all expressions of excitement in your life that are relevant for your theme of exploration. Sometimes you may be doing one thing and it might look completely different from something else that may excite you, but if you act on the one that excites you the most to the best of your ability, if it is connected to the other one, it will lead you there eventually, or give you what you need by the time you wind up doing this other thing. It is a timing dance, it's a choreography, it's an orchestration. All the things you need to do that are representative of your truth, of your vibration, of your path, of your excitement, will be done in your life in perfect timing. They don't all have to happen at once. You don't need to create this schedule of rush, rush, rush. I need to get this done because I'm going to miss something. I'm going to run out of time. No, it all orchestrates itself in perfect timing and connects you to every expression that you need to express in this life in order for you to feel fulfilled. It brings you whatever kind of support you need in life. Whatever form of abundance you need, be it the idea on your planet of money, if that is necessary, or a gift, or synchronicity, or some other form of abundance that will support you in your ability to continue to act on your excitement. Because as we have said, our definition of abundance is simply the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it. And pay attention to the fact that I didn't say it's the ability to do what you want to do. I said it's the ability to do what you need to do, because what you need in life is actually what will fulfill you. Sometimes your wants and your needs may coincide, but very often, if you are a little bit confused within the ego structure, something you think you want that will make things better may not actually be what you need. But if you always want what you need, your life will be fulfilled, because what you need will always come to you through the synchronicity. So abundance will be there to support you in whatever form or combination of symbols it needs to be there in order to support you to the degree that you can continue to do what you need to do to act on your excitement when you need to. Then there is the reflective mirror, as we said before, that always brings up, as you're traveling forward, something that says, wait a minute, you've gotten to a point now where your energy is such, on your higher vibration is such, that you can now handle me telling you that there is something within your belief system that's out of alignment with who you really prefer to be. So stop what you're doing, take a moment and realize that this is the most important thing you need to pay attention to right here and right now, because by paying attention to what that negative belief is that's out of alignment, finding out what it is, letting it go because it makes no sense, it doesn't serve you, is what will allow you to flow your energy through more positive belief systems and expand your ability to accelerate forward in your passion and in your excitement in life. And then the idea is that if you always remain in a positive state, knowing that everything happens for a reason, then even if something manifests that you don't neutrally, objectively prefer, if you use it in a positive state, you will be learning from it something that will serve you. You'll get a beneficial effect from it, and that will allow you to use what you don't prefer in a way that you do, remembering, as we said, that it doesn't really matter what happens, it only really matters what you do with what happens, and that's what makes all the difference, and that is the entire instruction manual. Does that help you?
It does. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
One question.
Yes.
I'm finding that a lot of times in deep meditation, I am crying a lot.
That's all right. Understand that every time you hold on to a negative belief, and a positive one, but this concerns the negative ones.
Okay.
Because you are expressing yourself as a physical being, yes? You have a body that in your reality you say is made of chemicals, yes? Atoms, molecules, chemistry, yes? Well, every time you have a particular belief that you're holding on to, you're rewiring your neurology in your brain to create paths for that belief to exist. But you're also creating chemical constituents, chemical representations of that belief in your body. So when you are finally willing to be in a state where you don't need those negative beliefs, where you're letting them go, how are they going to get out of your body? They wash out through your tears.
I see.
That's tears of release. You understand?
I do.
Because when you go into those states, you can't hold on to those chemical components that represent negative beliefs. There's no place for them. So they have to escape from your body. They will flow out through your tears. They can flow out through perspiration and other ways as well. But most common is they will flow out through your tears. Yes?
Yes.
Does that help you?
It does. Thank you very much.
You are so
I
very
appreciate
welcome.
it. Okay.
My question is in regards to experiences that I have had on spaceships.
All right. Were they fun?
Oh, they were wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
They were quite interesting.
Yes.
I feel that a time has come for me to be more open about these experiences. And
I see.
I have come to you to ask suggestions and directions in how to go forth to do this.
Recognize, first of all, that your willingness to do what you are doing now and share what you are sharing now is, in and of itself, a first step. For now, you are allowing yourself to let it be all right for other individuals in your society to know how you believe you are connected up in this society. You follow me?
Yes.
You have many literature books that speak of many different kinds of encounters, physiological encounters, mental encounters, and so forth. The physical channel made you aware of a new one this evening of your time. Perhaps in reading synchronistically of that account, it will allow you more understanding of how to come forth with your own. For it is in that way written by individuals who have that experience, and those individuals do form connections to other individuals that have similar experiences and wish to explore the entire idea. Also, whatever it is you have learned in these experiences, you can simply share the information therein in a general sense. The principles. Apply what you have learned, the principles of what you have learned in a general way, to your society by sharing the ideas in ways that individuals in your society can make use of, so that they can get them to work for themselves. Whether or not you define the source or label it is not important. The ideas, the essence, the tools, it is what is workable. That is what is important. So simply, whether or not you have to tell anyone where you think the information was learned, share the information. Then you will be acting as an example, a reflection for other individuals to see within you how this information works in your life, so that if they choose to believe it can work in their lives, they can live it too. They do not necessarily have to know where it came from in that sense. For again, fundamentally, since it was a co-creation, it still always comes from you.
I see.
You follow me?
Yes, I do.
So, put into action, in whatever way excites you the most, the information. Share that with people. Put it into action. How you wish to be of service in sharing this information will be exactly the correct way for you to share it, and will be the reason for why you were contacted.
I see. Okay.
You follow me?
Yes, I do.
We also thank you for playing your part in the expansion of awareness in the civilization into which you have chosen to be born.
Thank you. Could I have one more question, please?
That was it.
That was it?
Just kidding. You do not have to ask if you can ask. Go ahead.
I'd like to know why I'm plagued with health problems.
Plagued.
Plagued.
Interesting phrase.
Experiencing.
One idea is very strongly connected to what you might call some past life scenarios wherein you had an inherent weakness belief. You have carried that inherent weakness belief into this life to some degree. One of the main reasons was to allow you to focus on the mental attributes that have now brought you to where you are and given you the ability to form the communications you have formed. You no longer need that as a tool, for the communications have been fulfilled in that sense. They are now ongoing. You are doing what you need to do in that sense. You are on track, and therefore you can allow yourself to realize that you can be sound of mind and body simultaneously. And one of the ways to realize that most succinctly and most quickly is to recognize that your mind and your body truly, not really, are separate things.
I see.
Now, let me share with you one idea we have shared with many of you of late. Whether or not this makes mechanical sense to your outer aware consciousness, this will sink in on one level, and you may find that in your dream realities or the way your life plays itself out, you will realize a more profound, deeper understanding of what we are about to say than it may appear on the surface at this time. Listen. Are you listening?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. Consciousness does not exist in the body. The body exists within your consciousness. Do you understand the difference?
Yes.
Then learn to feel the difference. Learn to allow the understanding of that difference to be absolutely real for you. For if your body exists within your consciousness, then your body is only the product of the ideas and the beliefs at any given moment that you are creating your consciousness to be. Ask yourself, how does having the idea of imbalanced health serve you? If it no longer serves you, then recognize the only reason you may be holding on to it is because of habit. Because of the way you have been taught to think. Now that you have formed the connections that you have formed, one of the reasons for those connections is to allow you to know that you are the creator of your reality. And that your physical experience is the product of what you believe to be true. And if you have a physical experience that you no longer need, then the only way that physical experience can continue is if the beliefs continue. If the beliefs continue, it is usually only the product that you are used to those beliefs being the only beliefs you are familiar with. Redefine the belief. If the idea of ill health no longer serves you, then allow yourself to say, I will now receive, and I make the conscious decision now to now receive any information I need to receive in the easiest possible way along the path of least resistance. And therefore, I will not have to create scenarios in my life that now force me to look at things that I am refusing to look at. Because I will not allow the information to come subtly. When you do not allow the information that comes to you to come subtly, then your body and your consciousness will do whatever it has to do to get you to pay attention to the area, the aspect, and the fragment of yourself that you have created the message to come from. Many times this will take the manifestation of dis-ease, because then you are absolutely, beyond a shadow of a doubt, focused on the idea that you are living at that moment. You are paying attention to the totality of yourself. When you can pay attention to the totality of yourself without needing the disease, you will not have it. So the idea is to homogenize yourself and recognize that body and mind are one idea. One idea. Do not separate them any longer, and as strong as you find your mind to be, your body will follow suit. You follow me?
Yes.
Now, how do you imagine yourself to be in what you call an idealized state? How would you imagine you would be in what you call perfect health? Can you feel what it, quote-unquote, would be like?
Yes. I do.
You have a good, strong feeling of what it would be like?
Yes, I do.
All right, feel it for a moment. Let it completely wash through your body. Feel what it would be like to be absolutely, perfectly in health. You do know what it is like. So feel it, absolutely. Experience it. Let that sensation sink into every cell, every molecule, every atom, the spaces between the atoms. Let it infuse itself in the energy field, the electromagnetic field that you are. You know that matter is energy and energy is matter, yes?
Yes, I do.
Then allow yourself to think of yourself for now. If you believe you are an out-of-balance material state, then revert yourself back to a homogeneous energy state, where no one part has the ability to stand out from any other part. As soon as you allow yourself to melt back into energy in your imagination, then you will be realigning the definition of yourself. You will be defining the ideal blueprint of yourself. And then as you allow your body to recrystallize from that energy state, allow it to recrystallize more along the pattern of what you are now holding to be the idea of what it feels like to be in perfect health. In other words, in your imagination, imagine yourself to become the homogeneous blue-white electromagnetic energy that your material is created from. In your imagination, float in that state. Be that state. See yourself as the blue-white sphere of transparent energy. Then, in that state, impose upon that energy the vibration of what you know it feels like to be in perfect health. Then let your body recrystallize along the new template that you have imposed upon the energy that you are. And bit by bit, as many times as you need to do it, but absolutely, definitely, bit by bit, you will then reconstruct yourself according to that idea that you know represents your idealized state. You follow me?
Yes.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
This is one of the ideas that we will also be taking, many of you, through within the workshop that has been announced. The idea of what you call this workshop will be, as you name it, a self-empowerment workshop. And will focus on 4 primary aspects, all geared in building your own understanding of self and empowerment. 1 will be bodily alignment. The second will be psychic sensitivity. The third will be creativity and abundance. And the fourth will be the idea of awakening and transformation and manifestation into your life of the ideas you know you are. These 4 ideas combined together will allow you to experience in a concentrated form a time frame that completely takes you out of your typical preconceived notions of a day-to-day existence and allows you to begin to rely upon what we have discussed to be the miraculous foundation of creation itself. So these ideas we will assist you with, go through you with, in terms you call technique and exercise, and it will be in a highly concentrated form. But we guarantee that your own imagination always has the ability to give you what you need if you are willing to rely upon it. And at the same time, when you are willing to let yourself transform in these ways, changes will occur in your life at whatever rate you are comfortable in allowing them to change. We thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the meditation. Be vibratory energy, for everything is simply that. Sharing.
Good evening, Monsieur Bashar.
Evening.
Vous parlez français?
Un peu.
Vous êtes from Canada.
We understand. The idea is that we are not speaking your language at all. We are only capable of using the vocabulary inherent
Vous êtes from
within
Canada.
the channel. Is, yes, the channel, not me.
Merci beaucoup.
Do you understand us?
Oui, je comprends beaucoup.
The channel.
I understand.
The
Yes,
channel
I understand the channel.
speaks English.
I
Your
am
language,
speaking-
English.
I am speaking
Yes,
of the higher power.
we understand.
Okay.
But you also have definitions that you have been taught.
Yes, I have been taught. Now I am speaking to you
Yes,
on one-on-one.
yes,
I'm asking a question.
ask.
All right. I'm going to a new venture.
Yes,
Promotional advertising and product placement in entertainment industry.
yes,
That's it.
yes.
I'm asking. That's it. What is my venture going to end up with? Or what are my...
Are you frightened?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
You are frightened because you do not know that you have the ability to create the reality you desire.
Yes.
But recognize that you do. And that therefore, anything at all that excites you the most is what you will be most successful at if you put 100% of your trust into it. You see, excitement is your sign. Excitement is the energy of creation. And therefore, when you discover something that excites you the most, that is your sign that that is the thing in life you actually can be most successful at. All you need to do is trust it and act upon it and follow the excitement at any given moment. Follow where the excitement goes. And you will always be completely successful and abundant. Excitement is the physical translation of the connection to infinite creation. So if it excites you, do it and you will be successful. If you find at any given time within any venture that a certain aspect of it no longer excites you, then discover where the excitement does lie. Follow it. And even though it may not seem on the surface to be connected to what you think it should connect to, it is the excitement within that scenario that lets you know ultimately it is connected. Maybe not in the way you have been taught to think, maybe in an unexpected route. But if you always follow with 100% faith and trust and unconditional love, whatever it is that excites you the most, all things that excite you will be able to be accomplished in your life, because excitement is a thread that leads through everything you need to do to fully live the life you have chosen to live. Ça ne fait rien. Sharing.
Good evening, Bashar.
Good evening.
I've been coming to see you for
I've been coming to see you for several months now, and I haven't spoken before this because I'm terrified of speaking in front of groups.
All right. You are not alone in your society. Did you know something?
What?
That particular fear is the #1 fear in your society.
I would believe it.
So, you are in marvelous company.
In fact, I've created it so well that I thought if I do not get up here and get through this, then I'm never going to get through this fear. So I'm here.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for allowing us, all of us, to be what reflects your own trust in yourself to you. We thank you for showering us with such a beautiful gift as your willingness to share. For the fear you have and the fear that any of you would have about the idea of speaking with other individuals or in front of other individuals is only the fear that what you have to say is not worthwhile. But you are a unique facet of infinite creation, and therefore, because you exist, everything you have to say is just as much an equal gift as anything anyone has to say. So we thank you for showering us with the gift that you are.
Thank you. And if it wasn't for the boldness and the courage of so many other people that have gotten up here and done this, then I wouldn't have been able to listen to all the wonderful tapes that I've listened to over the last few months and caught up on your last year and learned so much from all of you, and I just want to thank you very much.
We thank you, and allow us to remind you of one thing. The you used to be, you no longer are.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Hi.
Yes.
My mother recently had a contact. A voice came very clear in her head. Alana, I am your space brother. And she's been very upset ever since because she doesn't know how to establish contact, and that was the only communication that she got, and she was kind of nervous at the time.
All right. The nervousness, therefore, in a sense, is an indication of the rate that will be, let us say, most conducive for the next contact. However, not all contacts are going to come in that method. Understand, once again, that no matter what form a guide takes, many communications will simply play themselves out in your physical life. In other words, walking down your street, overhearing a certain conversation, seeing a printed sentence that makes sense to you, walking up to your bookshelf and seeing the one book that gives you the information you now need. Those are all forms of communication from many different levels. You follow me?
Yes.
So, simply suggest that she stop trying to pay attention to the way it came before and simply get on with the living of the life. It is, as we have said, the living of the life that will allow any individual to know everything they need to know to continue living that life. And the idea, once again, and why many of these contacts are sporadic in that sense, is once they have been, let us say, kicked into action, the idea is to realize that you do not need those contacts to live the life. They then lure you to looking, to searching, to exploring with your curiosity so that you discover for yourselves that you have the empowerment to continue the acceleration and you don't need the other individual to do it for you. Guides are very tricky in that way. They lure you into more of yourself. You follow me?
Yes.
So, allow the individual to learn to live in the moment, live in the now, enjoy the life they are. In living that life to the fullest, everything they need to know, they will find out one way or another. One way or another. It is simply the opening of synchronicity in their life. The opening of the awareness that everything in life is synchronicity. And that simply means that everything is always in the right place at the right time, interacting with exactly the correct individuals that need to be interacted with to show you at any given moment what the idea is you believe in the strongest. From time to time, the guides will give a small hint, a small interjection in the most subtle of ways. It may seem to be startling to you just because it came in an unexpected fashion. But allow yourself to recognize that the momentum has been set off, and that if that individual simply allows their life to unfold and lives it, that the momentum will carry them unerringly to the places they need to go. And if and when they need communication in that fashion again, it will be there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello, Bashar.
Hello.
First, I'd like to say I experienced great joy and excitement in hearing the words from you.
We experience ecstatic joy and excitement in interacting with all of you.
Thank you. My question is, I'd like you to discuss an antidote or remedy for getting in the way of the true self because of the personality.
We have already done this to some degree.
Yes.
Following what excites you the most is what allows you to be the true self.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The medicine, so to speak, is that simple. All you need to do is take it.
Right.
Now, first of all, what may be, quote-unquote, getting in your way also is the assumption that the personality has to get in the way. Personality is not who or what you are. It is an artificial construct. And therefore, it is your artificial construct. What do you wish it to be? Define it, and that's what it will be. Define the idea you prefer to be and you are most excited about being at any given moment, and the persona has absolutely no choice but to become a reflection, a representation of the idea you believe most strongly in. You know is you.
So the idea is to control the personality as opposed to the personality controlling
Well,
your
in a
truth.
sense, but control may lead to conflict. You do not have to control it. In a sense, it is already under your control. It is your creation. You are already controlling it. You have never lost control. Your personality at any given moment is absolutely always a perfect reflection of what you believe it most likely can be. It is always under your control and has never been out of your control, ever. Always it is a reflection of what you believe most strongly. That is why when you see situations occurring in your physical reality, when you see ideas occurring in your physical personality, it is not there to show you that you are out of control. It is not there to show you you have failed. It is not there to show you you are stuck. It is there to show you what you believe. And if you don't prefer it, change it. Your personality will change accordingly to whatever idea you know is who you are. But you have to truly know it and act like you know it and trust that you know it. Then your persona can change to show you beyond a shadow of a doubt that you do in fact know who you are.
Okay.
But you are never out of control, even when you create the illusion that you are. You follow me?
Yes.
So first and foremost, lighten up on yourself, lighten up on your personality. It is simply a prism. Your personality is a prism. It has three corners: belief, emotion, and thought. Those three corners form your physical persona. The idea you are at any given moment is the white light of your homogeneous consciousness. It comes through the prism and breaks down into whatever type of spectrum you have defined the prism to be. So examine your beliefs, your feelings, and your thoughts. And when you allow yourself to simply know that you wish to have certain beliefs in a certain way, then that will define your feelings, that will define your thoughts, that will describe the prism of your personality, and therefore that will be the way the white light of your homogeneous consciousness breaks down into the spectrum you see as your physical reality. You follow me?
Yes.
But
I'm not sure what you mean by belief.
all right. Belief is a patterned system of perspectives of the situation you are creating yourself to be in. Your relationship to that situation, where you think you, quote-unquote, stand relative to any particular concept or notion, how you relate to it, how it relates to you. Those are your beliefs. I believe in the idea of dis-ease. I believe that if, therefore, I do such and such, it will result in such and such. And so it does. You are setting up the equation. Beliefs are simply equations. They are cause and effect equations. That is what your beliefs are. You simply say, if A happens, B will follow. That is a belief. You can allow A and B to be any definition you wish. And when you redefine what A and B are, it changes the entire event. You follow me? And in many scenarios, A can go into the B space and B can go into the A space. It does not have to be linear. Cause and effect are single event, and one does not necessarily have to come first. If you create a strong enough effect, nature, not allowing there to be a vacuum in creation, will supply the cause to support the effect you have created. So that is why in life, many individuals, as we have used this analogy before, will go through life absolutely refusing to be happy until they find a good enough reason to be happy. A good enough cause to be happy. If they would allow themselves to perhaps come from the point of view that they really don't have a reason to not be happy, and allow themselves to simply create the effect of happiness, then nature will supply all of the causes to support the happiness.
So act as if, actually.
Yes. That is it.
Thank you.
It is believing is seeing, not seeing is believing. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
Hello.
How are you?
Perfect. And you?
Fine.
You are perfect as well, whether you know it or
try.
not. In your own way, you do not have to try.
My question is, let me tell you a little bit about myself.
All right.
I'll be brief. I'm just getting into, learning about New Age awareness, and I...
Speak up a little louder, please.
Okay, I'll speak up. I can't help but be a little skeptical.
That is all right.
Okay.
We do not care. For you understand, in your society, it is the habit of the way you think to think that anytime anyone has something to share, they share it because they wish to prove something, and we have absolutely nothing to prove.
Well, I want to find my inner light. I want to find myself, and I want to spread my knowledge to other people.
You go right ahead.
But how do I know that the people, let's see, on my venture to find myself are real?
Real? Everything is real.
In the sense of people not faking something, if you know what I mean.
Let me put it this way. Whether they are, quote-unquote, faking it or not, if what they share with you works for you, it doesn't matter who they are. And that is actually the whole idea. Take what works for you no matter where it comes from. If it doesn't work, don't use it. If it works, use it. That's all there is to it. You follow me?
Yes, I do.
That is why we are coming now in the manner we are coming. Because this way, you don't have to believe we are who we say we are, and the message itself is what is more important, not the messenger. Because it has been the habit of your society to lock onto the messenger and ignore the message. So take the message for whatever it means to you. Use it if it works. Find what works. Use it. That's the idea. That's all there is to it. That is what is real. What works for you is what for you is most real. What doesn't work, you don't need to think about it right now. If it works for you later, you'll think about it then. You follow me?